Today we're talking train tracks again. I'm starting to wonder how they got the Transcontinental Railroad to line up, those 150, 200 years ago, whatever, and I can't get 12 feet of train track to line up. I don't understand. But anyways, hopefully this will be the last train update for a while, because I got all the tracks in by the end of this video. Hopefully, the train's going mostly around the track, except for that one little tiny piece that I'm missing. That should be coming in soon. So hopefully this will be the last train update for a little bit, at least primarily train update. But, I keep struggling. So let's struggle through this together. Okay, so I got a bag of straight track from my friend Ego My Lego. It got me to where I needed to be. It was all the straight track I needed. Thank God. I have 1, 4, looks like I have 5 pieces to spare. Awesome. Great. Okay, so let's look at what we got going on here. Okay, so this is the flipped around switch, right? All good. All good. You have seen all this before. This was all here before. I have a piece coming that's just a little tiny piece that will fill in that little gap. That's all fine. Everything's all fine except 2 things. Okay, so first, if you remember, we talked about this being straight through with the compressed size. This being going over to the outside, which is what the original is on the other end, right? So we're 2 studs in before the ballast starts on this side. On this side, we are... Oops, sorry. Can I move some stuff? We are 2 studs in before the ballast starts on here. Okay? So that's all good. Here's where the problems start. And somewhere along the way, I am off by 2 studs, and I don't know how and why I'm off by 2 studs, because 2 studs is like a piece of flexi track is 4 studs off, and it's just a simple loop under there. So the 2 lines recombine, again, all within Lego standards. There is a 1 piece of flexi track in there to get me a little further that way. There's a loop back. There's another piece of flexi track in there. And then it comes straight down. And so there's actually 2 problems. And for the record, the switch that's in there is this one. So this goes like this. So we're back into the normal. We should be on the normal thing, which means that the loop down there should put me back into the normal place. Except it doesn't, because I'm straight through and I am in my offset place here. So either I offset it somewhere along the way, which is perfectly reasonable that I might have done that, but I don't think I did. And secondly, I don't know why I'm off by just 2 studs. And so I think we're going to be opening this all up again and trying to figure out where I went sideways on this, because I don't quite understand. And if that is in fact the case, then I'm going to need to do a little do-si-do thing like I did over here to make that all right. And what that might fix my 2 stud problems if I just did back to here and to there, and then that would just be all covered by the tunnel maybe. No, I need to do it back there, I think, because the train shed is probably going to come all the way to here, because I needed to kick this over to get this out of the way of this covering wall. And so yeah, so we need to take a look at that today. And I hate that I'm popping this all off again. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so already making good use of my little rabbit hole here. This is a light I'm going to use for something else later. But it looks like everything is straightforward. It should all go straight through. I will say, something had caught up this, and I was able to push this over a little bit. And by over, I mean back. And so maybe that was hung up, and that's why the little bit of discrepancy. But I don't know. But everything looks okay. So I'm going to leave the light on down here, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to run a train around and see if there's something weird going on, because I don't see anything that would make this weird. There's no little loop or anything. I kept it straight through. You can see right there's the piece of flexi track, but there's also a piece of flexi track right there, so all the distances are the same. It's all kind of straight through. And here's the switch back. so I'm not sure what's going on. So I think I'm gonna run train through and see if there's something weird going on that I just can't see maybe from the angles that I have. Okay, so no problems that I saw, but one thing I might want to fix is, if you saw in the second video, it kind of struggled starting around this turn. And I think that has to do with the fact that it's slightly, I mean just ever so slightly uphill, because the bricks on the turn are not seated into the plate. The plate's just kind of there. And so therefore it's actually a plate higher, right? Because technically, it sits, so this is track level, this top layer. You got 1/3, 1/3, 1/3, so that's 2, and then sits on 2. But technically, that stud, it's sitting on the stud like this, actually adds almost a plate worth of height. And so maybe I need to pop that back out and do one brick and 2 plates to make that turn a little bit more manageable. And, you know, that should make that okay. But I still don't understand why my math isn't mathing. Because technically, again, you know, this is what I got going on under there. And this is right in line with this track. I mean, you can even see from the old track bed that it lines up perfectly here. Lines up perfectly there, but I'm off back there. And I don't quite understand why. So I think I'm going to pop the track apart underneath there and fix the turn issue. And then maybe that will shed some light on something that's going on, because I'll be able to pull this whole straight track out then as well. And I can check that too. So I think that's the next step. So when I got all the pieces pulled out, there is in fact... No, there's not an extra piece of flexi track. This is from this side, that's from that side, and it should have all worked out. So I don't know really what went wrong here, but I'm going to square up these base plates, because in theory I should be able to know exactly where that midpoint, that midpoint of the curve should be. And so I'm going to definitely lock that down, and then I'm just going to let the rest of it float, much like I would if I was doing ballasting, and take out the flexi pieces because I don't need them anymore. And then what I might do is I might add in the little bend to get it away from the wall, and then add in another bend on that end as well, so it mirrors basically what happens underneath here. And see if that gets me into correct placement, because everything should lock in. There's none of this going on here that it should be weird. And so I'm going to try to get that working. Okay, so here's the new fixed up kind of curve. I did plate, brick, plate, tile for all of the supports. These are actually tile, brick, plate, plate. Just because I wanted to have something that actually can make that connection point a little bit stronger. I might actually throw some 1x2 on each of those connection points just to make it a little bit stronger. But here we are, and we're going to go ahead and pop this into place, and then I'll work on getting the straight track together. Okay, after much finagling, I think we got this all back together. So I got the curve in there. I am going, whole base plate past the switch, and then all the way around. There is a little jump over in the back, and then another short jump over here. I did the jump over in the back like I did this one. So it's an 8 long jump over. This is only a 4 long jump over. Like I said, if I have problems with these 4 long jump overs, I'll just get more of the flexi track and we will we'll adjust. But let's go ahead. Let me set up my little stand here. Let's go ahead and run the train. Let's see if the train clears. I think it's still turned on. Yeah, so we're going. It's a little bit of a climb there going around the turn, but that's okay. Ooh, hit the stop button. My fault. let's check going backwards. I'm a little concerned about the Emerald Knight clearing all of that, but we should be okay. No reason to believe the Orient Express cars would cause any problems. Seems like a little bit of a speed thing will fix a lot of the problems there. Oh. Oh. Uh-oh. 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 That's a problem. Okay. Well, solved one problem to create another problem. Let me get this side buttoned up, and then we'll take a look at this problem. Okay, so I can't seem to get to replicate it, but it seems like speed and FlexiTrack might be the problem. Clears just fine there. Now it's all fine. So maybe it was just trying to get the FlexiTrack into position. What I think I am going to do is I'm going to leave most of the flex in this joint and the next joint, and I think I'm going to pop this out, and I'm going to add 1-bys to connect it to make it all of like a angle, straight angle. And I think that might solve some of the flexiness, because I think that's what happened was it hit it and it flexed, and then it did all the weird things. So I'm going to do that. I don't like it. Like I said, it seems like it's doing okay now, but I'm just going to go ahead and fix that for future problems. So it occurred to me as I was about to add a whole bunch of parts to make it essentially a straight track, I was like, wait, I can just use a straight track. So I did 2 bits of flexi, 1 piece of straight, 2 bits of flexi. And that essentially got what I was about to do with all FlexiTrack. And flexi, taking all the flexi out, gets rid of all those extra like bouncy conjunction points. And so that works a whole lot better. I wish I would have thought of that before. So I'm probably going to go ahead and fix that so that it's the same way now that I have all the parts to do that. And I might even fix that down there at some point into the same situation. I'm not sure why I didn't think of that before, but here we are. Okay, I'm going to get this closed up, and we'll run the train around, because we can almost go all the way around the track now. Almost. So close. So close. All right, so let's test run this. I got the Hogwarts Express, and I made a kind of funny adapter to pull one of the Orient Express cars as well, just for funsies. Hopefully this won't go terribly. I have no idea how this is going to go. So here we go. I have to give it a pretty good start. Gonna make it. That Orient Express car is so heavy. Let's oh, it's going. It's going. It's going. Let's just give it full speed. Oh, I hit the stop button. It's trying its best. It's really trying its best. I don't know why. Let's give it a little push. We gotta slow down because into there. Oh, and that's what I was afraid of. I'm gonna need to fix. I think that FlexiTrack's gonna need the same treatment that the other one did, but maybe now that it's been ran through once, it'll be okay. And around the corner. And we can't come through too far because I run out of track here. Oh boy, I heard bad things happen. But all right, so we're getting closer. We're getting closer. I think I need to switch my FlexiTrack that's underneath there over to this style with the 2 straight and a 2 FlexiTrack. But we're getting there. We're getting closer. We're getting closer. This was kind of the first test run of everything. So yeah, it's going okay. Hopefully this will be the last train update for a little bit. Maybe. I don't know. Train shed should be here real soon. I want to work on that area as soon as the A-frame gets here. I need to ballast all this, but I'm not going to update you on that. You've seen me ballast enough track lately. Maybe tunnels next, but I needed to make sure all of the train track things worked before I did the tunnels. So probably tunnels next. But yeah, thank you for watching. Make sure you hit that subscribe button so you stay up to date with what's going on. Thanks, y'all.